Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Backlog Banter. I'm Tucker Hazel, and this is my good buddy Abram Buhner. And today we are here to talk about the newly released Nintendo game, Pac-Man 99, free for Nintendo Switch Online users. And we're going to give you our thoughts. But before we do that, if you want to talk to us about Pac-Man 99, about video games, about movies, about anything you want to, join our Discord. Link is in the description. And to quote the late and great Abram Buhner, if you're rooting around down there, digging and hunting, there's a subscribe button, there's a like button, and we would appreciate if you moved your mouse over them and pressed down a little bit. But Pac-Man 99 did come out this week, and we're here to give you our sort of first impressions reviews. Abram Buhner, thoughts?
I have three things I need to clarify before we begin. One, I have See's Candy Awesome Peanut Brittle Bar stuck in my teeth.
Okay.
Two, I received a review code for the $30 worth of DLC from Bandai Namco to review over at CBR. My review over there is published now.
I'll put the link in the description just to promote you.
Pog. And third of which, it's a Nintendo game, but it's developed by Arika, who did 99 and Mario 35, and now are doing
The
Pac-Man
Tetris
99.
version of said thing?
Yes.
Yes.
And published by Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
So we got their disclosures done. We got the peanut brittle out of my mouth. We know who made the game. We know who published the game. Tucker, do you like the game?
I went into it with pretty low expectations. We watched it together. We have
Sure.
our video where we sort of discussed it when it was revealed. And we're like, oh, this seems a little bit weird out of nowhere. But I think this actually works the best for the Battle Royale classic game formula out of the three that we've had so far, one of which no longer exists.
Yes.
But I think this is just different enough from actual Pac-Man arcade version that I understand why it's more interesting.
Yeah, so I came into it with, of course, having played Pac-Man, but compared to Mario Brothers and Tetris, I had the least familiarity with core Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a fresher experience to me in that context, but I also think that as a battle royale, it works really well because this is a fucking fast-paced game.
Oh, yeah.
Pac-Man is already move until you lose. You literally can't stop, and then you layer in all of the battle royale stuff, and it just becomes really fast-paced, really engaging. So from a gameplay level, I really like it. I probably prefer Tetris 99 more, just because I'm more of a Tetris fan than a Pac-Man fan. But I think that the one thing that Tetris 99 does have, in my opinion, almost objectively over Pac-Man 99 is a sense of clarity and strategy that this game doesn't really have.
Yes. And that's going to be so this is a review of the game. I've only played 2 hours of it or so. I'm sure you've put a little more time into it. You have access to the full game. I really only have the core free element of it. But my main complaint is going to be this game doesn't teach you what the fuck is going on.
Yes.
At all. And I didn't get enough into either of the other Battle Royale classic games to understand what the different, how to send attacks and stuff like that of those. So that information can't transfer over because I wasn't familiar in the first place. But obviously, different game, different format for those. I still don't know what's going on. But I think that's a problem with the way it's presented, because it'd be so easy to include a little guide how-to in the menu or when you open up the game for the first time, but not a problem with the game itself, the gameplay, that is.
Yeah, so I mean, I started playing the game at like 9:03, and the game launched at 9 o'clock on Thursday night. So for my first couple hours of gameplay, like nobody had any fucking clue what was happening. There was nothing published online. Nobody knew how the game worked. And so over time, people started putting out articles and guides and everything. Nintendo Life put out a really good one, which is helpful. I do think having that familiarity with Tetris 99 in particular helps a lot here.
Yeah.
Because I was able to get the basics pretty quickly. My issue more is actually from a gameplay perspective opposed to just the way the information is delivered. When you're playing Tetris 99 and you're sending junk lines to an opponent's board, it's pretty deliberate the way you set them up and you send them over.
Yeah.
When you're eating ghost trains and you're sending jammer ghosts to other people's boards, that's more of like a defensive reactionary thing you're doing because you're trying to stay alive, opposed to very deliberately saying, okay, I'm setting up a Tetris here. I'm going to drop that Tetris, kick it over to that guy, you know? And because of that, I think that this game feels less synchronous and less PvP than Tetris 99 did, because it feels like, okay, people are doing shit to me and I'm just trying not to die. I'm just trying to move around, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that the player's always on the back foot, which makes for a really fast-paced and exciting experience. But I don't think it makes for one that's particularly like two-way. You know, I think it's a more me-focused gameplay experience than 99 was. Tetris
So
99.
I think you're probably right on the whole with that. I think my experience with the games, both Tetris 99 and this, is a little bit different because I think I'm honestly I'm a little better at Pac-Man than I am
Yeah.
at Tetris because I'm not great at Tetris. I've played plenty of Tetris in my life, but I'm not good at it. I don't know the setups and stuff. So I always felt with that game, what you're feeling with Pac-Man is that
Yeah.
I'm always on the defensive. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I gotta fast-paced react, drop something in, clear all the lines that are being sent to me. Whereas this, I feel like they turn the offense into defense. You're sending stuff
Sure.
to other people as you're choosing to go get a power pellet, choosing to when to get the sleeping ghosts and put them in the ghost train and all of that. That feels a little more engaging actively to me rather than just clearing the lines, which, you know, that's Tetris.
Yeah, sure.
But and I think it's that reason that I connect with this more so than I did with Tetris or Mario 35, is because there are new elements to this game that
Yeah.
were not in the original. Tetris 99, the new element is that other people can send you more junk lines.
Yeah.
But this, with the Jammer Pac-Man low ghost versions and the ghost trains and the sleeping ghosts and all of that, it actively changes the way you approach the map and offend and defend and stuff like that. And the fact that, I mean, I honestly, I don't know what the classic Pac-Man pellets do, the little ones, because that's the point of Pac-Man, is to eat all
Yeah.
of those. And so I think that this game changes up what your focus of is in the game more so than the other ones, which definitely makes it a little more engaging and unique to me.
So I think there's a couple things there. I think you're right on the whole, but also I believe these systems are from Championship Edition.
Oh, okay. Well,
I believe that this is not as big of a departure from what Pac-Man already was from a core level. And
compared to the arcade version is most of what I'm meaning.
Yeah, because this is like the classic Pac-Man arcade layout for the board.
Yeah.
In terms of the power pellets, by the way, this is a bizarre one that really is explained terribly. But if you get enough power pellets, you spawn another piece of fruit, which is really good to know.
Just the pack pellets, not the power pellets.
Yeah,
the little
if you
ones,
get
yes.
Yeah, if you get the pack pellets, you get another piece of fruit in the middle eventually.
Okay.
And if you're playing the DLC, which I'll talk about in a minute, if you're playing one of the single player modes, you see like a meter that's like a fruit meter, and as you get the pack pellets, you see it fill up.
Oh,
which
why is that not on the main mode? That sounds easy to put on there.
Yeah, I don't know why it isn't. If I had to imagine, it's probably because the game is already a visual clusterfuck at certain points, which I think is part of the charm. I don't think that that's really a negative. It's just the chaos of this, I think, is part of what makes it fun. Yeah. I haven't won yet, by the way.
No, neither have I.
I got close. I've gotten a couple thirds. I've gotten a solid number of top tens, couple thirds, not a second, not a first, but
well, I've gotten like top 30. That's like that's my skill level there.
I have learned, by the way, this is not a great Zoom game. I was like, this will be good for, I'm having to just not really pay attention to the Zoom call. But no, because this is you got to focus a lot when you're playing this. So it's not.
Yeah, because then the ghost will pinch you and you'll be like, ah, shit. And
yeah.
Because I was finding that, and that's just a classic Pac-Man thing, is it's so tense when the ghosts are really coming after you, especially once you have the Jammer Pac-Man slowing you down and stuff like that. It becomes a little bit more tense, and I found myself going, ah, shit, oh no, and I get caught by two and pincered and die. I was like, oh, well, that's how Pac-Man is, so.
Yeah, and then especially when the red jammers show up and you can only get rid of them with fruit, and it just becomes very chaotic. I'll talk about the DLC for a second.
Sure.
Don't buy it.
Okay.
I think that it's a bizarre value proposition. So essentially what you get is a bunch of themes. And the themes are pretty cool. Some of them are like other Pac-Man style boards, but some of them are completely based on other Namco properties. So the one I used a little bit was Dig Dug, where you play as a little Dig Dug guy and you're being chased not by ghosts, but the little like Dig Dug goggle men.
Pukas.
Sure.
Not joking, that's what they're called.
Okay. But the point is they're actually pretty interesting and full conversions that are pretty awesome for Namco fans. You can buy those each for $1.99. Basically, the themes are $1.99 each. You can get the modes for $15, or you can get all of the themes, all of the modes for $30. The code I got was for that $30 deluxe pass, so I could check out everything the game has to offer.
Damn, look at you. Sheesh.
The themes are interesting, but ultimately, like, if you're a big Xevious fan, just spend $2 for the Xevious theme,
Yes.
Then you look at the modes. You get a blind time attack mode, a score attack mode, a offline CPO battle, which is just Pac-Man 99 but offline,
Hmm.
and private matches. Private matches feel a little bit weird being bunched in with that single player content.
Does everyone who plays in the private match need to have the DLC?
Yeah, I believe to play private matches, you got to have
Interesting.
it, which is not great, and that's kind of being held at ransom in and amongst other content that's not that compelling,
Hmm.
because the modes are fun, but ultimately, like I said in my review for CBR, just buy Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, you know,
Hmm.
for
Is that
for
on
tw-
Switch?
that's on Switch.
Okay.
For $20, you can get a really robust Pac-Man game, you know, and then just play the online component of 99 for free. I think
Yeah.
that's a better way to spend your money and get a multiplayer and single player Pac-Man experience, you know. And because of that, I think that this content just feels a little bit overpriced and a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because
Especially compared to what is it, $10 for Tetris 99?
yes, I
Yeah.
believe.
Which is, I mean, different development teams, obviously. I mean, I don't think Nintendo necessarily has a say in how much they charge for it, but
No. But on the whole, because I want to actually pivot, and I'm curious what you think about it as an addition to Nintendo Switch Online as a
sure.
whole. But in the context of itself, if you got a membership, play it. It's really fun. I
Yeah.
genuinely think it's really fun. I think that this is going to be one that I play consistently, like Tetris 99, where
Yeah.
over time I build up a play clock. And I think this one is really great in the sense that it's easy to become discouraged in something like Tetris 99, but here the rounds are so fast
Yeah.
that it's really easy to say, okay, fuck, I got pincered by the ghost. I'm just gonna hit B again. I'm gonna replay and move right back into it. So
Hmm.
I think it's a very replayable game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think on the whole, it's very cool that now we know this is a continuing thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Tetris 99, which was a huge pop. I remember when that got announced in the direct, and everyone was like, What the hell is this? What are they talking about?" And
Yeah.
then Mario 35, of course, weird was okay. I mean, some people liked it, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
But if this signals a sign that we're going to continue to get these kind of things, hopefully at least one a year or more, I think that's a cool building library of free games that you can access as a Nintendo Switch Online member. And I
Yeah.
think the fact that this and Tetris 99, both have their strengths. And if you enjoy Tetris, if you enjoy Pac-Man, you have these versions of them to play.
Yeah.
And clearly they're both high quality, but they clearly have a lot of skill level that you can get into. And I'm glad this exists, not because
Yeah.
I'm going to be really getting into it, but because like Tetris 99, probably a little less so than you, it'll be something I pop into every once in a while if I have 10 minutes to play a game.
Yeah.
And on the whole, I think while the Pac-Man aspect of it connects better to me than Tetris did, I think I'm more so pleased with the experience of this game because I feel like they put a little more effort into the UI,
Sure.
into the overall experience of it. There's more unique music than there was in its base level Tetris 99, but
Yeah.
also there's like this really cool graphic of the ghosts and like wheels in the background. The menus are really slick and stuff. There's a presentation to this that I think is a lot higher quality than Tetris 99 and especially Mario 35, which looked like
Yes.
it was using like royalty-free assets, which makes no sense for an anniversary game
Yeah.
of the biggest game series of all time. But I'm really pleased with the presentation of it all, and I think even though it's just one game mode, if you're getting the free version,
Yeah.
it's certainly worth it, and it's a quality product that's very, very fun.
Yeah, I agree. I was not a big Mario 35 fan either from a gameplay perspective or from a presentational perspective. I
Yeah.
thought it was a pretty big miss. So it was nice to see that the polish of a Tetris 99 was going to be the norm for these titles.
Yeah.
Um, Personally, I don't know how many more of these 99s I have in me. You know, I would like to see I'd
Sure.
like to see Nintendo Switch
Certainly
Online.
gets less special the more that they are.
It gets less special. I don't think the gameplay gets less clever, but I just think that as a whole, Nintendo Switch Online needs to incentivize players to actually feel like they're not wasting their money
Mhm.
through other facets, both through building out those retro catalogs more and also just having a more compelling online experience, you know?
Mhm.
But I think as like $3 a month, $20 for the year as a gateway into all of the content, this is a great addition when I
Mhm.
think that this easily could have been just put on the eShop for anybody for $9.99 and it would have
Yeah.
been it would have been a solid, you know, buy-in.
Mhm.
So it's a nice boon for the service, but I mean Nintendo Switch Online just needs a lot more
Yeah.
than Pac-Man to fix it.
I mean, what we're talking about here is, yeah, this is nice, but it doesn't make up for the flaws of Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
Online, which is not Pac-Man 99's fault.
No.
Pac-Man 99 is only a positive factor for
Yes.
Nintendo Switch Online, but there's certainly a larger discussion there to have, which I think we have had before. Can't remember. Card in the corner, maybe.
Several times I feel like we've had this conversation. I will say, Tucker, Bandai Namco out here making another Nintendo exclusive. Another one. Very happy about that. Bandai Namco, for people who are unfamiliar, Pokken,
Yes.
um,
Smash.
Smash they've worked on,
Wii
Star
U
Fox
and
Assault. Yes. And Mario Baseball. Maybe we're setting up for me getting another Mario Baseball on Switch, which I'd be very happy about.
I sincerely doubt that Pac-Man 99 signals that, but I'll let you dream. I'll let you drift off to sleep at night, hoping and dreaming that there's a new Mario Baseball.
Tucker, last thing before we go,
Yes.
what's the next 99 or 35 you want? Because God knows there's gonna be another one.
Well, I would not be surprised if we get some sort of Zelda 35th anniversary remix of the NES version.
Link's Crossbow Training 35.
No, I mean, I like the idea of turning arcade and NES games into something a little more action and modern oriented. With the battle royale genre being so popular, it pulls people into getting the classic arcade formatted gameplay loops, which I've never really connected to. And I think that this provides a little more incentive to actually continue replaying rather than just getting high score. It's competing against other players, which is why I think these work so well in the modern market, even though they are using classic style gameplay. But I don't know. I think an Asteroids, maybe Space Invaders.
Space Invaders would be good.
Galaxian, even something like a Breakout. I think that this format can really reinvigorate those old games in a way that I mean, it's hard to access those unless they're like a crappy phone remake of said thing. But if they're able to make these 99 versions of them, or 35, if it's the anniversary or whatever, I'm very much down to see how they continue to grow this series that they're working on, because I do think that they are starting to understand what goes into making these a little more, obviously putting a little more effort into them as I see how successful they can be. So I would love to see any of the ones I mentioned come out.
It's F-Zero.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
I've said this before. I've said it on Twitter. I've written about it on CVR. I fucking say it everywhere. F-Zero 35 is a phenomenal idea. Mm-hmm. You're in the F-Zero SNES tracks. They narrow as you go along. The longer you survive, the narrower the track gets. There's some power-ups in there. Already, F-Zero is kind of a battle royale race where you have a life meter. You're trying to fuck each other up, trying to knock them off the course. I think it's perfect. And we're never going to get another AAA $60 F-Zero game, but I think we could get an F-Zero 35. But I think that game came out. What year did the SNES came out? 94. No.
Wait, no. You're right.
91.
Sure.
Right. So it turned 30 this year. So SNES turned 30 this year.
Now the question is, would you rather them say F-Zero 30, which implies that it's going to be removed at the end of the year of its anniversary, or just make it F-Zero 99 and leave it up? Which, I mean, obviously they can do either, but the anniversary aspect of it has a bad taste in our mouths at the moment.
Tucker, that's a compelling question. Do I want the game to be arbitrarily delisted, or do I want it to stay around forever?
Okay, hold on. You're right. I don't know what I'm thinking there, but I mean, do you think that even if it is the anniversary, that they would do a 30 or a 99? Because they could do an F-Zero 99 for the anniversary, but it doesn't have the anniversary year in the title. Like, I don't know what Nintendo's thinking. Also, why the fuck did they remove Mario 35? Like,
I mean, it probably costs a lot of money to keep those servers running.
Possibly.
I'm kidding. It doesn't. Nintendo's got enough money to have fucking 35 people playing 1-1 and 1-2 ad nauseum until someone reaches 1-4 and Bowser shows up and the fucking game ends. But no. What are we talking about? Pac-Man 99. It's a good game.
Good game. Try it out. It's free if you have Nintendo Switch Online, which is not very expensive.
And if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, get it and play Donkey Kong Country.
That's the tagline of this review. That's the moral of the story.
By the way, before we leave, have you seen that Nintendo has deleted and re-uploaded the overview trailer for the Nintendo Switch Online service probably 4 times in the past month, and it gets ratioed to fucking Kingdom Come?
To wipe the ratio? Presumably? Have they edited it? Do we know?
Like, they'll edit it to add a couple moments of footage for, like, Pac-Man or fucking get rid of Mario or whatever. But every time they re-upload it, it gets downvoted to the fucking dumpster bin. which is so funny.
Good job, Nintendo. Do an outro.
Well, I still have peanut butter on my teeth. Goodbye. I didn't mean to steal your peanut brittle bar.
That's okay. You can have it.
What?
That's okay. You can have it.
It's an awesome peanut brittle bar. It says so on the package.
Yeah, no, it's I didn't really want it anyway.
Okay. That's kind of you.